This is just a quick video to go through your Does Anybody Hear Her analysis that you worked on in your teams yesterday. Again, as I said yesterday, I know that this is a very challenging assignment. This is what we're going to be doing all semester. So in this first one, this is one team. You have the nouns, adjectives, and verbs, which they've done a good job with. What I want to really focus on is the second half of the chart. I know you can figure out, nouns, adjectives, and verbs. You can find the diction. It's the effect. So, like here, you have the nouns depict, and the choice of adjectives emphasizes, and the verbs help describe. So you have these stronger verbs with depict, emphasize, and describe, but there was no completion of the phrase. You have to be able to put describe what, emphasize what, depict what. So you need to be able to communicate that. Down here, I really like this phrase, internal protest. Despite internal protest, that she needs to stop and find help. I just really like that phrasing there. Strong verb here with demonstrate. Again, they've gone the extra step here that was not taken above. So you need to make sure you follow through all the way through a document. Theme or message. I really wanted for all of the teams to see what is it that sin can lead to. You're going to see that idea over and over again in the Scarlet Letter. So thinking about in terms of this song, what can sin lead to? And in the context, you really need to look at who else can be the audience. Yes, it is a Christian song from a Christian group, but it doesn't apply to just Christians. So overall, we're getting started with our thinking here. So I enjoyed that document, and from that team I'm going to move to a different team. Okay, so here again they've done a good job mentioning all of the different nouns, adjectives, and verbs. So I want to show you here, and I can't widen my screen right now. So I like, again, the verbs juxtapose, emphasize, contrast. However, why is there the contrast? I'm going to keep asking you all year long, why? You're going to hear me in your head. Why? When you're writing rhetorical analyses, or when you're writing your arguments later in the semester, when you revise, whether you're giving peer advice or you're looking at your own writing, always think about, did I answer all of the why questions? If you haven't, there's still more to write. So here in this part, make sure to explain the justification. Avoid stating what it is they do, or juxtaposition, I'm sorry. But why do they do it? It's constantly going to be why. And again, here, emphasis on the negatives. What negatives? I'm not sure. It's not stated. I like the phrasing here with the isolation from society. This team could add as a result of what? And again, this idea of judgment, several teams picked that out. So I think that was a really good verb, or if you use the word judgment, noun to use. So I'm going to click on to another team here. Again, they've done a good job with listing their nouns, verbs, and adjectives. Again, illustrates, depicts, compares, and it tells what is done, but not why. Again, I'll start it now. Why? I'll sound like that petulant 2 or 3-year-old. But why? Here, with the subject. So when you're looking at subject, make sure you're going deeper than the person or the character. So subject is, what is the topic being discussed? Here it says, sometimes there is something deeper than society sees on the surface, and this is a major flaw that affects those who are struggling to find their way in life. And my question here was, well, who could that be? I think part of the purpose message in the song is this could be anybody, especially when they come back at the end and say he is running 1,000 miles an hour in the wrong direction. It's not just a female thing. It's not just this one person. Everybody goes through some sort of struggle like this. And again, that word judge or judgment, I think you did a really good job there. So overall, this is, for many of you, the first time that you've had to think this way. And I know that it's challenging. We will practice literally all year long, pretty much every day in some way. So just keep reminding yourselves to ask why, and keep going back to those strong verbs. As you come in for your face-to-face time, I will give you a hard copy of that to put into your composition notebooks. And I appreciate your patience yesterday. I think I have the Canvas Teams figured out now, and we'll work in there a little bit more, and that way you're not having to go between Microsoft Teams and Canvas, and I can see everything that you're doing. And actually with the Canvas groups, you can do a lot more within your group pages, and we'll talk about that more today in our live meeting. But I'm looking forward to seeing you guys this afternoon at 2:15. And again, just thank you for bearing with me as we go through all of this. But good job yesterday on Does Anybody Hear Her?